Hey, bro, clean up. Here's the cloth. Clean up the whole podcast into a lovely session.
On it. Meet the guy who's revolutionizing the facility management industry. Meet Roy. From an MC, a master of ceremonies, to a master of cleaning, he is transforming the landscape of housekeeping and facility management. With over 3,000 employees and revenue doubling almost every year, he is truly making India and every state in India a cleaner and a better place to live in. He's not only cleaned hotels, residences, but also cleaned aircrafts, cleaned railway stations, car showrooms, on ground, underground, in air, everything.
Our gen looked at growing a business. The new generation is looking at growing the money faster than growing the business. So as a result, they're finding a lot of businesses failing today. Business basically is 50% luck and 50% hard work. Don't give up. You see, there are going to be obstacles in life. Your business is not easy to start off, or rather, it's easy to start off, but very difficult to continue.
I, Floyd Tavares, would like to extend a warm invitation to join the How To community. The How To community is a perfect place to discover insightful strategies by some of the country's most successful business people. Everyone tells you what to do, but our entrepreneurs tell you how to do it, how to build a brand, how to build a business, how to start and scale, how to run a family business. All your answers in one place. We are also introducing Leap Playbooks, the only place where you can get actionable workbooks to define your strategy and follow the actions of these entrepreneurs. So do not forget to please hit subscribe, throw in a like, and share the gift of this learning with your friends and your family and your associates. Thank you for being a part of my journey. So welcome to our podcast, How To with Floyd. Today we want to know how to build a business, how to scale, how to motivate people, how to find the right people, how to find passion, your how to.
Thank you, Floyd. Thank you very much for having me over. Well, my story is a very abnormal story, If one has to follow my path, it's going to be a little difficult because from where I started and where I have reached today is a story by itself. So let me go back to when I started. I did engineering I'm an engineer by profession. Went to Pune, started my career there, went to Mumbai, worked there in that area for about 15 years, loved Bombay, hated Bombay. So when the hate became more than the love part, I quit Bombay because I just couldn't take it anymore. The traffic was getting a little bit too heavy. Accommodation was difficult. And situations were getting tight day by day. Now, this was about 28, 29 years back. So I could read that Bombay was good. I had done my time in Bombay and I must come back. Coming back to Goa, I had nothing to do. There was no business set up, no idea, nothing, So I started by borrowing a plan that I had in Bombay, which was kitchens, manufacturing of kitchens for houses and hotels. Didn't work well. Needless to say, disaster.
How many customers?
Zero.
Oh.
Zero. And I was struggling for a year. So after a year, I went back to the drawing board and I started sending my CVs out again. And I had this friend of mine who sent me a catalog and said, why don't you look at this cleaning equipment? Now, 29 years back, cleaning was in such an infant stage that even the catalog consisted of all imported equipments, nothing locally made, nobody, no China, no India, nothing. No, it was only coming from a couple of European countries. Anyway, to cut it short, we agreed, we started Ecoclean. And when we looked at it, it wasn't anything that I loved to do. Cleaning is and continues to be the lowest segment in any processing line, but it's essential. So I began to recognize that fact and I began to take it as a passion. So I would work maybe 15, 16, 17 hours a day, sleep in the conference halls of certain hotels or in the accommodation. I would not go home. And I began to like it, So for anybody who is actually looking at something that they want to do, start by being passionate. There is a vein in your body which will show you the direction, which will make you a very passionate person in that line that you are looking at. Uh, Say today, the newer generation goes and gets a job. They look at the money, they're very happy, so they take up the job. But that is not their line. They don't know what it is. They've just gone because of the money. In a couple of weeks' time, months' time, years' time, in a year's time, they are out of that line. They're ready to work at even 50% less the salary. So we get a lot of people like this who come to us and they made big mistakes in their life. So you have to be very passionate about what you are doing, you see. And the moment you are passionate, you take the machine yourself, clean yourself, show the team how you work on it, you're definitely there.
So you believe in passion before profit. And also from a passion point of view, you tasted the hustle and started liking it. For those who have an idea, right? For those that currently in a job that have an idea, or those businesses that want to take their business to the next level, how do you find passion? One way, as you said, is to experience the hustle. What are the other ways that you can find your passion?
See, you have to really know knowledge, for example, of what you are doing. Today, I may start something and find myself facing a lot of obstacles. It's because I don't know the subject, and I'm trying to get into it, trying to push myself into it. But I'm not, without any knowledge. I don't even know what the subject is. So a lot of times our trainings happen, but even with trainings happening today, the level of trainings are more of drawing room trainings. Practically, when you experience it, it's a totally different subject altogether. So I think that going forward, you would have to look at passion as what you feel and what you can make about the particular line that you are in.
So does that mean that I have to be knowledgeable about the line that I'm in? The first step is to know my line well and then get into it full time.
See, today a lot of startup companies are starting up businesses based on a plan or
An idea.
An idea which they have. They have no knowledge.
Mhm.
They have a good plan,
There's a trend.
good figures put down, venture capitalists invest into them, and they start up the business. Within a year, 90% of the businesses today are closing down. So here comes the second part about it, is because these people are, the new gen is looking at money much faster than our generation looked at it.
They're passionate about money.
Yeah. They're more passionate about money than the job. Absolutely. Yeah. So our gen looked at growing a business. The new generation is looking at growing the money faster than growing the business. So as a result, they're finding a lot of businesses failing today. In the initial stages, within a year, close to 80-90% of the startups are now closing up, you see, or closing their doors. Staff are being redundant. So there's a whole mess happening, which is disrupting the whole industry as such.
So they lack passion, they lack preparedness, they lack a promise.
And they don't want to persevere. You see, it's another subject of. Let me tell you a story of how I persevered in one incident. I'd gone to a hotel to make a sales call. This must have been about 15 years back. And I went to the gentleman and I gave him my card. I don't know why and for what reason I was blasted that day. And I did not know how to take it. So I came out and I said, my God, what is this gentleman? He doesn't even know me and he's blasted the nights out of me. Now, anyway, I was with one of my managers. We went back to office. A day or two later, I said, no, I'm going to go back to him. She said, I'm not coming because I'm awfully frightened of what he's going to say. He's battered me out and I'm not. So anyway, I landed up at this hotel, 5-star prestigious hotel. And I said, good morning, sir. There's that. He looked at me. And I said, I'm here, sir, to solve a problem. So what problem are you to solve? And then I spoke to him for about 2-3 minutes. And believe me, he became a friend of mine. We still keep in touch. I still maintain that hotel. 15 years down the line, They're so happy with our services, and we are part of we are like teammates now, going along in life, So that's how perseverance helps. Don't give up. You see, there are going to be obstacles in life. Your business is not easy to start off, or rather, it's easy to start off, but very difficult to continue. You have financial troubles, you have staff troubles, you have location hassles, you have time hassles, and the most, you have quality hassles, because you're dealing with people who are from the blue collar line of society. So it's very difficult. The line that we are in is a little difficult line. Yes.
Hey, listeners, if you like what you're hearing, do not forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. 2 P's that no school teaches you: passion, perseverance, right? And this is a school of hard life that teaches you. And that's the school that Roy has been learning from, right? The hard way. So, okay, our next question to you is how to take an idea, right, from passion to profit. You've tasted the idea, you've started, you visited one hotel, you've got a deal. How do you envision, right? Did you ever think of that this would be a 3,000 employee company? Did you ever think that you would be managing some of the biggest institutions in the country?
So business basically is 50% luck and 50% hard work.
Fortune favors the hardworking.
Now, again, in hard work, you see, you must have discipline. It's easy for you to work hard, and not have the team behind you, backing you all the way. I am a thorough disciplinarian. You see, I believe in a lot of systems. I believe in a lot of programs, a lot of laid down procedures, processes. Because when we started a business, there was nothing. There was no textbook. There was no...
It was unorganized.
Completely unorganized. There was nothing that one would talk about. Today, they can borrow, we can Google, we can look at this, how to clean a carpet, how to clean windows, how to clean this. It's there. And they have plan A, plan B, plan C. So you can use automation, you can use manual labor, you can use semi-automized way of cleaning. So everything is available today. But when we started, we had to
create the playbook.
Create it, absolutely. So we had to define processes, create SOPs, create standards, introduce training modules, train the staff. So it was a very difficult time that we went through to bring it to this. Now, of course, everything, press the finger and you get everything,
You mentioned something about train the staff, right? In your line, especially the blue-collared industry, where I think around 80% of your staff would be blue-collared. How do we ensure that training is one followed, and second is because you all are not on site monitoring or managing them at any point of time, and especially when they are in a lot of private places like homes, resort rooms, right, wherein the temptation, right, for absorbing or grabbing something is always there, especially depending on the circumstances. People might have certain needs at certain times, right? Someone's suffering, someone's parents suffering or something. There might be temptations. How do you tackle this? Because this is an integral part of your brand, right? Brand is trust. In your line, it's
absolutely
the biggest, most important trait is trust. That is why people are coming to you, because they want to trust their whole hotel, their whole hospital with you.
Yes.
And so how do you train, besides the skill, how do you train for people to be more trustworthy and not to, fall into temptation?
So what we generally do is at recruitment stage, we don't have much of a chance to select people. Whoever comes, we take them on,
Right.
Because today the need is much more than the availability of blue-collar
The demand
workers.
is more than supply.
Yeah. And there are very few areas that are sending the workers here, or the availability of workers from these states is now diminishing. So what we do is, the first step is to create an employability factor. Let that staff feel that he's part of Ecoclean. Let him feel that this is his home.
A belonging.
Belonging, absolutely. If he's working for 8 hours, he's spending roughly 12 hours of the day incoming, going, and working in Ecoclean. So 12 hours of his day, he has to be cared for. Now, if we don't care for him, then he tries to think of other ideas. So first thing is create sort of a employability, a sense of belonging, that they belong to you. And once you create that relationship, they're not going to think of pilferages, of doing things, because they'll say that whatever I'm doing is going to benefit me. End of the day, they are working for themselves. They may work in Ecoclean, but for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so it's they're working for their own stomachs. They're not working for Ecoclean as such. Yes, in Ecoclean is the correct word. for their stomachs is the other part of it. So I have tried to all along tell my trainers, start by telling them that Ecoclean is their company. So we've got 3,000 shareholders today. Now, what we do for them, we'll talk about that later. But coming to your question of
Yeah,
how
what is
we
your training
take
process like? Simple 4-5 steps of what you all do.
So we have trainings where the introduction training, which is the etiquette, dress, because they come from lower strata,
Got it.
you know. So how to dress, how to talk, their style, what is it must
Grooming.
be, body language. The second is the introduction to housekeeping, and that's where we have few games. Make it very interesting for them.
Okay.
So it's not just go and work. So
Gamify
there's-
the whole process.
Yes. So we try to simplify,
Make it fun.
make it more fun for them. So they did take a liking. Now, out of say 100 workers, we have 20 people who hate the line and who are just working for the sake of working. But for the balance 80% who are there with us, we've got people who have been with us for the last maybe 8, 10, 12, 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And that is what is our strength. Because if they are there, they will take care of that area properly every day.
Okay.
That is why we have, we basically have a tagline which says quality, ... cleaning always. So we are always looking at quality. We are always looking at standards which are very high in the Goan market. Yes.
So I think a great learning, listeners, for all of you all is, if you'll take your brand, take your business, quality, whatever your business is, always, right? Quality, housekeeping, always. Quality, hospitality, always. Quality, computer service, always. 3 simple steps that Roy has given you all. First is etiquette training, grooming, right? Whichever industry you're, B2B, B2C, customer facing, not customer facing, everyone is selling. Dress the talk. Dress well, groom well, speak well. Second is your skill, right? When you're training for your skill, whatever industry you're in, make it fun, gamify it. And this, lastly, is accountability. All of them are accountable for the company. That's where the sense of belonging comes. Your 3-step process is basic etiquette training, making skill training fun, and third is bringing a sense of accountability. And this is the playbook that Roy has given to us in a platter. It's time for us to go and execute quality ... right?
Yes,
Always,
absolutely right.
right? So let's take a step back, take a pen, take a paper. If you're driving, make a mental note of what you could do to improve your quality always. Okay.
Yes.
Coming to our next question. They say a good business comes with a good, okay wave, but a great business follows a great wave, right? So you're riding great wave. Post-COVID, right? Everyone has understood the importance of cleaning.
Yes.
Everyone has understood the importance of having systems and processes in their cleaning. Everyone used to sweep their homes.
Right.
But now ensuring
Right.
that their hotels are cleaned 3 times a day, or hospitals
Right.
ensuring they're cleaned 4 times a day
Right.
is extremely important. So you're riding a wave that has helped create an organized industry for you, which means more
Absolutely.
competition,
Yes.
but you have set the standard for the industry.
Yes.
So how have you taken this wave? Have you just ridden the wave, or have you now added advancements? You're looking 5 years down the line. What is it that you've done with the wave to take your business to the next level?
See, as I said, the processes are constantly being defined and redefined, because as the world is advancing, our whole business procedures, processes have to advance. So, in fact, we were one of the first people in Goa that introduced ride-on machines.
What's that?
Ride-on cleaning machines.
Ride-on cleaning machines.
So now you sit on a machine and you can clean the whole, like, for example, the Goa Medical College, we use about 7 of those machines.
That's the biggest medical institution in the state?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the institution we've been servicing. 2 parts of it, which is the super specialty block and the Goa Medical College, where we are doing everything now, which is what we call the facility management. We've grown from housekeeping to facility management. Now, facility management involves your housekeeping, your engineering, your painting, your gardening, your pest control, everything,
Okay.
A to Z. So if you can come to the Goa Medical College one of these days, it'll be nice, because you'll see the improvements that have happened over the last 6-8 months, where dirty walls which had fungi fungus are now looking cleaner. Tables, bedside tables, the beds are now looking painted.
In fact,
Yes,
I have a story to share. My dad, who recently passed away, was in Goa Medical, the GMC last year, and we never felt that it was a perception of a government hospital, right? In a particular smell, a particular, and always crowded, dirty, bathrooms are dirty, but we never felt that way, right?
Yeah.
I think we were counting around 4 to 5 times a day. The ward was, the ward and the rooms were being cleaned,
Sanitized.
right? So
yeah.
sanitized.
Yeah.
Bathrooms were clean, right? So it never felt like a public hospital. So I think that's a great. I think if you all are responsible for that, that's
And it's difficult because we have a moving or floating population plus a population that is there because of the patients of about 10 to 12,000 people in
A
that
day?
institution in the day. In a
Wow.
day. So that many footfalls, and you have people from all over, from the villages, some from Maharashtra, some from Karnataka, some from all over. So those people have never even slept on a bed. They've slept on the ground or whatever. So, they never use the Indian WC. They never use the Western WC. So there are a lot of challenges that we go to. But I'm blessed to have a team, a management that supports me, the team that backs us. Wow, I must say, if I'm sitting here today talking to you, Floyd, the team is still working and continues to work. That's why we can relax a bit. You see, we don't have any cases in the Goa Medical College of people getting sick because of what they call hospital sickness.
Okay.
No, we don't have that because we are maintaining high standards, and COVID has taught us that. In fact, after COVID happened, one way it was advantages, the other way it was disadvantages. Advantages in turn that a lot of systems are now put in place. The clients have begun to recognize the need of machines, the need of proper chemicals, cleaning chemicals. On the flip side of it, the staff strengths went down. So we were cleaning a hotel with 30 people. Today we have to clean the same hotel with 15 to 17 people. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we have to think and keep on revisiting areas, and that's how we are.
In fact, I was really impressed with the quality of the linen, right? So absolutely,
So that's another big story. We had an assembly session a couple of years back where the MLAs literally took the bed sheets and showed them how bad it was.
blood soil.
I'm sorry?
Blood soil.
Blood soil, they were torn, some tattered.
Wow.
It was bad.
Just a few years back.
Yeah, it was bad. So the government put out a tender and we bid for it and we got it. And as passionate as I am about the work I do, I said, this has to be a very, very high standard. So we had to first do up the full laundry room. So I
So you
traveled
got
a
into
lot.
laundry.
Yes, I got into laundry. So I traveled a lot to study the machines, even abroad, to study and understand what laundry really is about. Because I had no idea absolutely what is laundry. I mean, the maximum menu was that 7.5 kg machine which I had at home. That was it. So we went into this type of study, and I traveled abroad, traveled to a few places, saw, a lot of hospitals. I must have visited 20, 25 hospitals in Delhi, in Bombay. I visited railways, linen cleaning laundries, where they clean linen for laundries. Oh, that was another exercise. But anyway, out of all this that I saw, I was determined that we should be among the first top 3 because some of them are not very good, some of them are very good. So we started this whole exercise, and today we wash about 8,000 pieces a day.
This is
All
a,
the
a separate business by itself.
Yes, so this is another segment that I have. Besides the facility management, laundry is another segment that I have.
Interesting.
Yes,
Interesting.
yes. So now as a matter of fact, I must say this with a sense of pride that we've had no complaints on laundry for the last 8 years that we've set this business up. Initially, we are teething. So we use all automized systems, all our chemicals, everything is automized. We don't touch anything. There's nothing to be touched. It's all programmed. So how much detergent has to flow, how much chemical has to flow, how much water has to flow. It's all programmed. So we just load the linen in and remote.
Yeah, for that scale, 8,000, I don't think manual labor would,
No, you can't. And basically, because of it being in a public area, chance of pilferage of chemicals, of detergents were there. So we've automized the whole thing, and now we have absolutely no problem at all. Yes.
So, listeners, if you like what you're hearing, do not forget to throw in a like, subscribe. A whole playbook will be available of how you can take your business to the next level, like Roy. But one very important point that he spoke about is to start something new. First, he mentioned it earlier as well, is you need knowledge. But knowledge not just about reading. He actually saw real life case studies of how it is done in the best places, right? Studied from the best, went to the biggest railway stations, went to the biggest cleaning facilities, studied it, and brought those best practices to his business. So I think the first step to innovating and adding new products is to learn it yourself, learn from the best, and bring it to your business. So what is your system for innovation? Is it you see an opportunity, and then you innovate, or you see a trend? You know that something's going to be coming up, and then you go and study about it and then pitch it to a client. How does it work with you?
It's a mix of everything, actually. But if you look around today, opportunities at your doorstep. The idea is right there at your doorstep. How you take that idea
and scale
it up. The birth is there. Make it an infant, make it a child, and an adult. That is where you come into the picture.
So businesses, as you said, different phases, right? The baby, the infant, the adult. And you're 26 years in this business. At different stages, at the baby stage, at the infant stage, at a matured stage, for which is housekeeping right now. A baby phase would be the laundry system that you have. What are the systems and processes, and what are your most important next steps in these businesses? And how do you, is it you that bring in the systems, or do you have a management team that, do you have consultants that come on board? Do you have mentors, coaches? How do you set your systems for different stages of the business?
So initially it was sort of a one-man army, running the whole thing. Then we began about 15 years back to take in professionals. So today we have general managers who look after the health segment. Okay. We have general managers who are corporate segment. We have a full-fledged HR department. We have a computer department, IT in charge. We have an engineering in charge, engineering manager. So they are now looking after the business. So I am now a step back, waiting for Gen Next to come and take over, as they say. It's interesting because as you evolve, you also have to sort of look at how the next gen is going to come in and take it. So it has to be interesting for them. So now then Gen Next is more interested in computerizations, in a lot of quick automations, quick systems. So we've got our engineers working on that, of how things can be more automized. So we've now gone in for new packages, new programs, which are helping us to innovate, which are helping us to sort of get our business tuned in for the future, as I would put it.
So what's next in facility management and housekeeping? What's next? What's the next big trends?
Well, you see, in India, I have chosen actually to be in Goa.
But you're a global company. I believe you have a company in Kenya. You have a...
Yes. We are now international, right? Yeah. We are gone into Kenya about a year back, doing pretty well there. We started off with one project. Now we're doing a couple of projects. We big time there in fumigation and pest control, which is helping us a lot to grow the business. Here in India, basically, the business is reached a point where now we have to look at other areas also, So I have looked at sanitation as another line, which is portable toilets, event management.
You've started that, or is that?
It's already on. It's been on for a couple of years. We are in fact the first company that started air-conditioned portable toilets on trucks. So for
big
weddings,
events, mega
events, events, these trucks go parked there and you can use them, and a nice facility. In fact, and well maintained. That is one thing. I mean, I'm a stricter on the maintenance part, on how it looks. So quality, as I said, we have to give a product to a client, a quality product, and then they will recognize us. As a matter of fact, I don't have any salespeople. Okay. No, I don't have many salespeople. The company sells by itself. You see, as far as we go, the discipline factor, which my HR is very strong about, which they themselves enforce. We have 99.9 people covered under ESI CPF,
Wow. All blue collar.
all blue collared. We have, we were a couple of years back in IT, we were, income tax had given us a certificate about paying blah, 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 all that type of thing. So they recognized us as a company. And that's something that's been working for us. So now that we are in this stage, we are more looking at the future. Automation, proper systems, discipline on various things, and trying to make life easier for the staff wherever they are, you see. So this is what's going to be the next step that we are working on and looking at how the business will.
You mentioned that you don't need sales. Is that because your demand is always out, is always more than your supply? Because
No. You see, some or the other, the market knows us. But the market also knows us as a quality service provider. So the word quality has sold for us quite a bit. And if one has to go to our projects and check, we have a whole list of processes which are marked, tracked every day. So I get about, in terms of WhatsApp, about 500 to 600 WhatsApp every day.
wow.
Yeah. Now, even at this stage, when I'm the MD of the company and I have stuff, I still want to know what's happening, because there is something I will pick up every day, go back to the team, correct it, or the team will share with me. So I already know what to talk to them and how to tackle the problem that is. Because the lines that we are in, with the blue collar people that we're dealing with, there is a problem at every stage.
So do you personally firefight those situations, or do you have?
A mix of both, yes and no, because I advise, with my experience and the knowledge. Yes, we sometimes are forced to go onto the site and tackle it, and I don't hesitate. I mean, I'm right at the forefront fighting any problem that can be. So, yeah, the moment the management of that organization knows that the MD is coming himself and tackling it, it becomes a whole new ball game altogether. So the way they look at us, the way they have recognized us, so that helps us in our sales also today, you see, delivering quality services.
So this is the playbook on how to deliver quality services every time, right? Especially in a line which is dominated by blue collared employees. Right? How do we set the right systems? How do we set the right training systems? How do we continuously innovate? How do we get started? Before we end, I wanted to give, if you were to start off again and you were sitting in a room, right, with a bunch of business students interested in doing business, right, how would you start up with them as a part of your team, and what would you do? Is there any other line, or would you still do this line?
Oh, I will never change my line.
Perfect.
I mean, this line has been very, very hard work. There is nothing that can replace that word of hard work. So if I am where I am today, if the company is where it is today, it is just hard work that has helped us all. So if somebody wants to get into business, there's no substitute for hard work. There's absolutely no substitute.
There was a time when you didn't have money for fuel, right? And when you started off, and
that was a time in my life. Yeah. I mean, after I came back from Bombay, I got married, and I had a Maruti 800 car. As tall as I am, I used to fit in a Maruti 800 car. But that car would not move because I had no money to put petrol in. This was just at the time when I started Ecoclean. Yes. That is one of the funny incidences that happened in our life. So it is all about, taking an idea, working around it, growing that idea, persevering on that concept and the idea, that plan, drawing up your processes, discipline yourself, discipline the staff, and then you will see a business will grow.
3 things that we've really taken out of this podcast. One is passion, right? How do you have passion in any line that you're working in? Passion is the first ingredient to success. Second, perseverance, right? Keep doing it. 26 years of doing it.
Let me say something here. You, Floyd, are a very perseverant man. You've called me 10 times, and some or the other, I've never been able to attend this podcast, you know.
Yeah.
Some reason or
So
the
you've
other,
been,
I've had to
busy
travel or
traveling,
something
yeah.
and something. But you have persevered, and fortunately, it's my pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure. And I think the last and the most important is discipline, right?
Yes.
How do we incorporate discipline? How do we, like yesterday when I spoke to you a few days back, you said every Thursday we do a management meet.
Yes.
And this is sacrosanct, right? Every Thursday we do a meeting with senior management. Your Ecoclean has been very integral to a lot of the institutions that I've been part of, by higher education, a lot of healthcare institutions that we've been part of. So discipline is, I think, a very important part. So passion, perseverance, and discipline. And lastly is resilience, right? How do you, in good times, bad
True.
times, COVID, not COVID, right? Competition, how do you persevere and how do you innovate and keep going? I think so. Thank you, Roy, for coming on this podcast. So much to learn from you, so much to take home, so much to take back to our business. My name is Floyd Tavares. We are in the business of building brands through brand strategy. And this is a masterclass on how to build your business, a strategy, or Roy's strategy on how to grow your business, how to set systems, how to become a 3,000 employee strong business. Right? Keep going, keep hustling, and do not forget to give us a like, thumbs up, follow, comment, subscribe. Give the gift of learning to your friends, share the podcast, and see you soon.
Thank you very much, Floyd.
Pleasure.